Well, hello, media world. How are you doing? Welcome again to the Calabash Media Show. For all of you who are watching live right now, the Calabash Princess would not be with us tonight. We would definitely like you to hold her up in prayer as she's feeling under the weather. So please do hold her up in your prayers. But there are the rest of the people that are the host family that are on here today. And if you are watching live, there is a number that's down below. You can call that number and come in and share your opinion with us live right here on the show. And that's important. Always feel free to give a call in on this show. This show is about you, the audience, and the things that we go through and real life situations. So please, by all means, come inside, call the number, and share with us your opinions, and your opinion matters just as much as anyone else. Now, let's get to the chase. We have with us today Pasino. Pasino is back. He missed it. We missed him last week, but he is actually back. So, Uncle Pasino, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back, man. I missed you, man. You left me hanging
I mi-
last week on this subject, man.
yeah.
But
Be a
I'm so glad you're
continuation.
here now.
Yeah, thank you.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, we also we have two men today. Me and Uncle Pasino is here. But we have one lovely lady. She's by herself today, so maybe she now understands how it feels for a man to be on the panel with three women like I was last week. But Auntie Isa, the lovely, wonderful Miss Isa, how are you doing today?
I am well, thanks for asking. How about you?
I cannot complain as usual. Everything is going pretty good. Girl, look at your eyes. Bat 'em, girl, bat 'em. Just one,
Hey.
two, three, four times. Girl, gone. It is so good to see you. Glad to have you back on the show. So
Good
let's
to be
bring
here.
everybody that's here today. All right. So here's our panel today. Once again, I myself, Carl, and Uncle Pasino, and Auntie Isa is here on the panel today. We are going to continue on with the subject that we started last week: pride in a relationship. The subject got so deep that we had to do a continuation. And now we have Uncle Placino, who was absent in on this, and we have the lovely Isa, who knows what the show was about last week. Uncle Placino
Mhm.
looked at it and he said he had a whole lot to say coming back. He said, ooh wee. So we're going to get into this and dig deep. So, because Uncle Placino was not here, but he did watch the show, let's start with him. Uncle Placino, pride in a relationship. Where do you stand with that, sir?
Okay, yeah. I did watch the show last time. It was an interesting one. And I'm glad to be here today to contribute. Like I always say, I'm here to learn, listen, and educate. Um, you know so yeah, when it comes to pride, let's define what pride is first. I think pride, I would say, is gratification, fulfillment, joy, dignity. So in a relationship, I think you should have dignity. It's when you take it the other way around. I've always been a positive guy. When it comes to words, people have the negative side of it, but for me, I always stand with the positive side. So pride in a relationship is you having your dignity as a man. If you are the man, if you are a woman, is you having dignity as a woman, as a wife, have you having dignity as a husband. So I stand with the word pride in a relationship in a positive way. It's good to have pride, but you don't have to be arrogant. But when you use the word pride, look at the definition. That's what it says: gratification, fulfillment. You having dignity when you fulfilled as a man what you do in your household, how you put your family together. Yeah, you should have dignity. You should have pride about that. That is where I stand.
Well, all right. That is where Uncle Pasino stands. Well said indeed. Well, Miss Isa, you've heard what Uncle Pasino is saying about pride. We want to hear your take now.
I think he's right. A man feels pride when he knows his family is well kept, when he knows he can provide 100% for his family. And without that, I mean, the man does not feel confident enough to be in that marriage or in that relationship. They feel inadequate. So I think he's 100% right.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree. I agree. Now, what we got into was the meat part of this last week. And the pride, we did get a very good understanding based on exactly what Uncle Pasino has just said and exactly what Auntie Isa has just said. And for me, I agree with both. Both of them are saying the correct thing. However, last week we got into the financial aspect of a relationship, being that either the male or the female making more money. Of course, when the man is making more money in a relationship, he's already titled the head of the household. So he should take pride in his position and do the things that he needs to do as man of the house. However, what happens when the roles are reversed and it is the woman who now makes more money than the man in the household? We even got down to the part where some women would even put in on taxes as head of the household here in the United States. However, it's done over in Africa. Would you please enlighten us on what that circumstance may be when it's reversed, Mr. or excuse me, Uncle Pasino?
Yes, yes. Well, I say from the African aspect of it, for me, I would say for men in general. I think that is why I talked about define pride. Um, I don't believe, like I said, the two show before this one, I don't believe a man should be comfortable to marry a woman that earns more than him. And the reason why I said that, when that happens, gender role is reverse. And in most cases, women take advantage of that, and some men feel emasculated when that gender role is reversed. So I just feel there's nothing bad for a woman to be successful, nothing bad at all. I appreciate women that are hardworking, that are killing the game. They are earning their degree. I think here in America now, women tend to earn more than men, most especially in the African American. Um, Women tend to earn more than men. Um, I think about 41% of African America earn about less than $38,000. You know, so but women are killing the game. So there's nothing bad with that. But as a man, should do you need to be comfortable with that? Because I remember when we talked about this last time, Uncle Carl, you had said you don't mind working in McDonald's if your woman earns more than you, as long as you're paying the bills. That is okay. We all have choices. But for me personally, that is not something that I can accept. I can't accept it. If I'm going to marry a woman that, before we even get married, that we're going to date, during our dating process, we have to have communication. If I see we have the same goals, we have the same idea, that process would let me know the kind of woman I want to settle down with. Because marriage is supposed to be for the rest of your life, not when the goat gets going well, the marriage is sweet. When it started getting bad, it turned sour. No, it's supposed to be for better, for worse, sickness and health, and all that good stuff. But women are the way they are wired, the way they are created. Sometimes they do things that they don't even do intentionally. A woman that is earning more in her place of work, let's for her to get to that position to earn more than what you're earning, she has put in a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice. So that little bossiness can be there because of where she works. Sometimes when she comes home, she doesn't want to do it intentionally, but sometimes it can. also crawl into the relationship. Men that are comfortable, we won't say it, but me, my person, and what I will advise other men, you shouldn't be comfortable with that. Your mindset as a man first is what is more important. When your mindset is right, you have the mindset of a goal getter. The woman will say that. Then you have communication. If she's ready to work with you because she's earning more than you guys are ready to build a legacy and an empire. Then yes, communication, good communication comes in. You might decide that, but I don't think it is right for a man to be comfortable for his woman or his wife to earn more than him.
Okay, so Auntie Isa, before I bring you in, let's give this illustration. Uncle Pasino has made it very clear that it is absolutely a no-no for him. No way in the world that he would even be comfortable with a woman who makes more money than he, because he feels that if a woman makes more money than he, she will abuse the idea of having more income and would not be submissive to him. And for that matter, a man should not be comfortable with that because of that circumstance. So in dating, you should meet a woman who is making less money than you, regardless to whether or not you're compatible, regardless to whether or not that you're in love. Because if she's making more money, that's a no-no. Is that right, Uncle Pasano?
No, that's not what I said. Let me rephrase so that you can get it clearly. And what I
Okay.
said is,
Pasano?
if
No,
any
that's
than you during
let
the
me rephrase so that
during the process of you going in a relationship, you have to have communication with her. Okay, let me give you a very good example. When I got married back in the days, the woman I got married to, she earned more than me. She had more money than I did back then. We dated for like 2 years. It was even going to 3 years, and she was tired about it. She was like, "You listen, man, I want us to get married. If you're not ready to get married, I can provide the money for us to get married." So I told her, "No, thank you for trying to bring money." Even her family came. They were like, "You guys should get married. We're ready to give you money. We'll give you the money in your account so that it look as if you own the money." But I declined. I said, "No, if you love me, if you believe me," and we have communication. We have at that time we have the same goal. We're heading to the same direction. So it's better you wait for me, which I'm happy she did. When the money came at the right time, we did our wedding, I think the fourth year. So in the fourth year, we were able to get married. But I stood by my word that I'm not gonna accept money from them for me to do the wedding. I made sure I had to work out to make sure for me to get myself together. So, meaning you can date a woman that earn more than you, but during the process, you guys should have to communicate and see how you guys can plan forward before getting married. I don't agree with the idea for me to get into marriage when I know she's earning more than me. What am I planning to do? I need to have a plan. I need to have a strategy for me to get myself well put together. Because at the end of the day, it's not about paying bills all alone, paying mortgage, paying car note, paying electric. No, there's more, into it than just paying bills. So if she's earning more than you and you are taking care of the bills, then you guys want to go on a vacation. She's in charge of vacation. She's in charge of every other big stuff. She can come, I need a Tesla. I need an Escalade. And you're trying to tell her, no, you can't have a Tesla now. You can't have an Escalade now because of this reason. Sometimes she don't want to see reason with that. She'll be like, oh, is it because I earn more than him? And also, like when you guys go out for social events, you guys have you after the whole dinner, drinks, and the waiter comes, who is going to pay? She now brings her card, and you have friends around. People are watching. People be like, I think I've noticed this several times. Why is she always paying? That makes you as a man, my kind of man, I'm not going to be comfortable. So I rather have a conversation with my woman if she earns more than me before marriage Do we have the same goal? Are we going to invest together? What's our plan? If everything's going to work out well, then fine, yes, I'll go ahead. But I'm not comfortable going into the marriage when I know she earns more than me, and I'll be comfortable there inside the marriage like that. It's a no for me.
Okay. So back to Auntie Isa. Did you hear what Uncle Pasino is saying?
Yes, I did. And to some extent, I think he is right. Those are his beliefs, and he's entitled to it. One size does not fit all. But he does make a lot of sense and raised, very good points. Um, I think for a strong man in any relationship, they want to be the breadwinner. They want to be the one, like I said, they want to be a provider. And so, if you have, like in so many cases, listen, women have fought really, really hard for equal pay in the workforce. So, we cannot take that away from them. We have come a long way. And it may start out in a relationship or in a marriage that the husband is the high, breadwinner and makes like three times more than the wife does. But it doesn't always stay that way. Like I said, we have fought so hard, equal pay, equal rights, whatever you call it. And so sometimes during the course of a marriage, a woman raises her level and sometimes earns more money than her husband. So if you have a man who is very, very like egotistical and too prideful, and he may take it the wrong way because some women, not all, believe, hey, if I'm making six figures and I want to buy a pair of Louboutin, I should be allowed to buy it. And after all, I work hard, I make the money, I can afford it, so why not? But that may not be right for the family, for the family's budget at the moment, or for you to do at the moment. And sometimes you find husbands come in and say, dear, I don't think you should buy that shoes right now. Remember, we have other plans. And some women feel like, no, they should not be told that. And they should buy it because they've earned it. So, it's sort of like a slippery slope. It's not, you have some women who, like for me, you have some women who believe in their husbands or in their partners 100%. And because that man has made so many right, you know, has made so many right decisions or has made so many right, their path is clear, the mission statement for the family is clear. The woman trusts the man with their life, trusts the man with every decision that needs to be made. But when you have a relationship that's one sided, you have a relationship where there's a lack of trust, there's a lot of ego, and you rub each other the wrong way, then when the woman starts earning more money than the man, it becomes a problem. You mentioned something. Women are now filing head of households because they make more money than their husbands, some women. And some men, when they see it on paper, it rubs them the wrong way. I think it shouldn't be that way. Instead of you being offended or, giving into your pride, I think it should challenge you more. It should challenge you more. You should be able to, like, okay, how can I do more? What else can I contribute? How can I raise the game? How can I raise my level? If you're the type of man who always wants to be like two steps ahead of your husband, of your wife, you should always be thinking, so that should challenge you. It should not make you feel less than. It should always make you want to do better, make you want to do more than your wife. So think about it that way. Hello.
Okay,
Hello.
audience. This
Did
is
you
one
hear
of
me?
those moments. Yes, I did hear you did. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Audience, this is one of those moments to where if you are watching live, you want to call in with that number. Call in and give your opinion. Call in and give your statement. I know there's a lot of ladies that may be watching this live right now. By all means, please call in. It's not video, it's voice call. So you feel free to call in and give your statement. And even for men right now that are watching this live, please call in, give your statement. Once again, it's not video, it is just audio. Okay. So by all means, please give a call. If you happen to watch this later, and it's not live when you're watching it, please leave a comment down below. We would like to see what the audience perception is. So by all means, do that. And please do not forget to give the star on this show. So back to what we're saying right now. Okay. Um, there's a fine line. I heard what Uncle Pasino is saying, and I hear what Auntie Isis is saying. And yes, very much so. Both of them have very good points. But here's the thing, it's still pride that is setting in when you have a man who is uncomfortable, to me, just my opinion, uncomfortable with a woman making more money. There was a statement that was said that if you go out to eat and she ends up giving a card with her name on it as the woman or a card. So Isis, would you please explain the part about a woman paying on a card if you
Oh,
are?
yes, that. It goes both ways. You see, it's what you see on the outside. It could be I'm using my husband's card. It could be it's his
Could be
card
it's
with
his
my
fault.
name on it. Did I lose you? Are you there?
No, I hear you.
Okay. So for me, I like a man that takes control. I love a man who takes control. If you're going to take me out to dinner as a husband or as a partner, I want you to pay. I want you to, when the bill comes, I want you to take it. I don't like seeing women taking the bill. I mean, for their boyfriends or whoever. I like to see a man do that. I really do. There's no ifs and buts about it. It has to be a man's role. When the bill comes to the table, when you handed that check, I think you should be able to cover it. It's different when you're dating. It's very different. If a man asks me out to dinner, I want to pay for my own meal because I want no strings attached. At the end of dinner, I want to do what Isa wants to do. If I decide to go home, I want to go home. I don't want to feel obliged to go to a lounge with you or to go home with you. I want to have that freedom. So whenever I'm invited to dinner, if I'm going on a date or whatever, I make sure I have my card. You can pay for a drink if you want to, but I pay for my meal because I don't want any strings attached. I don't want to feel like I'm obliged to anything else. Not even a peck on the cheek. So that's my take on it.
Absolute. Uncle Pasino.
We can't hear you, Mr. Carl.
Yeah.
Uncle Pasino, can you hear me
Yeah, I
now?
hear you. Yeah.
All right. Do me a favor, you two. I have an emergency.
Okay, so Pascal, what's your take on it?
Like I clearly said, I
Hmm.
think we're both saying the same thing, but different way of delivering it. Like I earlier
Hmm.
said, if it's a constant thing that she's taking care of the bills, and when we go out, it's a problem for me. Once in a while, yeah, my woman might decide to say, you know what, I want to treat you today. That is once in a while. I won't be
Hmm.
comfortable when she's doing it all the time. And for me, apart from women, when I'm hanging out with my friends, I am not comfortable going out with my male friends and they are the one always taking care of the bill. That is not how I'm wired. I'm not comfortable. Sometimes if I feel okay, I've gone out with this dude two, 3 occasions, is the one paying the bill. The fourth one, I will tell him, you know what, I'm busy, I can't go out. It's just me, it's my pride. I
Mm-hmm.
have pride,
And that's how it
My,
should be. And that is the way it
yeah,
should be. I
yeah,
respect you for that.
yeah, and pride needs to come in place. You don't need to be
Mm-hmm.
comfortable. Get when your wife is making more than you, based on what you said earlier on, Auntie Aisha. You don't have to be comfortable. It is when you are
No.
not comfortable, you'll be willing to do
Mm-hmm.
something, to do
Mm-hmm.
better. You
Mm-hmm.
want to work smart. You don't even need to work hard. You want to work
Mm-hmm.
smart. You
Mm-hmm.
want to educate yourself. You want to go do financial education. You can go into stock. You can go into real estate. There are so many ways to make money, but it all starts with your mentality as a man.
Exactly.
What mentality do
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
what mentality do you have? Do you have the mentality? Because I've seen cases where the men are very comfortable for their wife making more than them. They are very comfortable.
Those
They
are
become
lazy
the
men. Those
yeah,
are
but that's
lazy
what we're
men.
Wait,
They're
wait, wait,
not
wait,
being
wait, wait, wait,
challenged
wait.
enough.
Hold on. It's not about a lazy man. See, that's the whole point. This is the
Mm-hmm.
pride
oh,
thing again. Okay? I would have no problem with a woman paying for the meal or anything else because I know me. There's a saying, okay? There really is one about where you are so worried about your reputation that you don't pay attention to your character. It's not my
mhm.
reputation that is my concern when I'm out. I don't care about what other people think because that is a reputation. A reputation does not define who I am. Defines who I am as a man. And if my woman makes more money than me, that's okay. It's fine. It is not going to demean me. It's not going to take anything away from me. I could be a lawyer. I could be a doctor. I could be a judge. I could be the governor. Shoot, I could be the president of the United States. And my woman can still make more money than me because the president of the United States only get about $120,000 a year. You're talking about a man of stature, the president of the United States, the world leader, but his wife may have been making more money than he was because he's only getting 125,000. So if a president of the United States in my stature and being the world leader, is that what defines me as a man? Is that what makes me the character? The perception of that is okay. But this woman that I have could be a movie star. And every time she shows up on the screen, they're paying her 5 million. And she has 6 movies lined up for the year. That's $30 million in the year, and I'm only making 125,000 that day. Am I less than a man? Do I have to try to sit down and talk and try to make something out and try to compete with that? No, I'm still the head of the household. I'm listening, Isa.
Yeah, that's because you have a mission statement for your family. You know exactly, you're confident in who you are. So whether your wife makes more than you does not make any difference because you're the head of the household and that's the way she sees it. And looks like you married a submissive woman. So that is good. But it's not always the case in everybody else's house. You have to realize that.
I do
It's
understand that.
different.
But then it's
Exactly. Now,
also
talking
on the
about the
man.
president, talking about the president, he's the most powerful man in the world. How much he makes does not matter. It doesn't matter. Period. What he brings to the table, he's the most powerful man in the world. And women naturally like powerful men. So how much he really makes versus its influence is completely different.
And
So
that's
Exactly.
my whole point.
I
That is
agree
my
with
whole
that.
point. A man is supposed to carry his character in such a way that it doesn't matter about how much money he makes, just like you just said, and just like Uncle Pasino agrees with. So it doesn't matter if this man is working as a warehouse worker pushing a forklift and the woman is working as a CEO of a company. How he carries himself is the power. It's not so much the idea that he's the most powerful man in the United States. It's how
How
you carry and conduct yourself.
Mm-hmm.
that is where the pride comes in. When we talk about pride, people see pride in a negative way, which is so funny to me. Pride can be in a positive way. Your dignity as a man, you have to have dignity. Now, the meaning of
Hmm.
husband is house bond. As a man, you're supposed to bond the house. As a man,
Hmm.
you're supposed to be a provider. That is the way God made it. You're supposed to be a
Hmm.
provider. Remember, man was taken from your rib. We as men
Hmm.
we were dust. The woman was taken from your rib for her to support you, not to be the breadwinner. Okay, you as the man has to be the breadwinner. You're supposed to provide, clothe her, um, um, lead her. That's the way it should be. So I would not be comfortable for my woman to earn more than me. I am not saying it's a bad thing, but because I have pride, I have dignity. Um, that's why when I achieve, I'm an achiever. When I achieve things, I have pride about that. I'm happy about it. We should not look pride in the negative way. I think that we should call that um, 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 arrogance, but with pride, it's something that you're happy with. You're fulfilled. I'm fulfilled to be a man. I'm fulfilled to be a father. I'm fulfilled to be a provider. I'm fulfilled to
Mm-hmm.
be a leader in my house. Because when women, in most cases, just like what Auntie Aisa said, except you have a total submissive woman, which is rare to find. Don't get me wrong, there are women that are submissive, but when the role, now she's the one taking care, she's the one earning more. Listen, it crawls into them. Some of them, they don't know. A woman that is out there, like what I think it was Auntie Ice that said that she's earning 3 times more than you. Before she got to that place, she has made a lot of sacrifice to get there. She know how she got there. She didn't just wake up one day and just get to that position. So for her to remain in that position, now she's a boss. She has that boss mentality in her work of place in some cases. So sometimes when they come home, the woman is tired because she needs to put a whole lot of work. When she's tired, she comes home. Guess what? Honey, oh my God, I'm so tired. Can you get me a cup of water? Because she's really tired. You don't expect the woman to come back and still go to the kitchen. You, as the man, has to prepare the food in some cases
Hmm.
because she's tired.
Hmm.
So we as men, like if I want to teach my son today, I'm not going to teach my son, it's okay. If you find a woman that makes more money than you, it's okay. No. Meaning I'm giving him a mentality down. I will always let him know you are a man. You have to make sure you take care of your family. You have to make sure you work smart. You have to do this. So I'm preparing him down,
Okay, there's
you
a
know.
major difference. There's a major difference between telling your son or or any man, okay, I agree with you. That is something that we're supposed to teach by all means. I agree with you that we are the provider. There's nothing wrong with that. That is the way it should be. Unfortunately, life has changed since Jesus pulled the rib out of Eve. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Life has evolved, life has changed. There are so many commandments, traditional commandments that was given for the time that things were happening back then. So many. But things have changed. From the time that Jesus gave the commandment to Moses on the Mount of Olives, I mean on the Mount Sinai, and the time that he came and prayed on the Mount of Olives, he even changed it. He said, I came not
Mm,
to destroy the law, but I came to fulfill it. And every law that he had set forth, he did differently because the times had changed at that point and he wanted to show love. Our Father doesn't change, but we do. We evolve. So
mm,
today, I am the head of my household. Do I make more money? Yes. But if circumstances come to where somehow she begins to be making more money than me, I am not going to change and feel uncomfortable because I've been
That's
taught that I am
different.
supposed. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish. I'll let you finish. I've been taught that I'm supposed to be the leader and the provider. Okay, so I teach my sons. I do. I have three of them, and I'm very proud of them and how they are. I teach them how to be providers, but I also teach them how to be gentlemen. I teach them how to be the head, but I also teach them how to be humble. I teach them how to lead, but I also teach them how to serve. There is a balance that we're supposed to be teaching our young men today. And if we go too far right or too far left, we're going to mess things up, because what's going to happen is that for that young man, or even ourselves as adults, when something happens, because it does, you have an accident, you get paralyzed, you have an accident, your leg get cut off, you have an accident, or you have a stroke, you can't work no more, you have to go on disability. You either gonna commit suicide because of that pride, because she's making more money, or you're going to
Can I?
end up in a divorce because you can't handle the idea that she is now making or doing and having more money than you. There has to be a balance because of what is happening today and the change in how women are beginning to be more independent and more liberal.
Can I come in now? Oh,
Yes.
Auntie, something to say, or I can go ahead.
You can go ahead, Pascal. I want to hear your take on it. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you, Uncle Carl, but I think you are moving away from the concept, because what we said earlier is, will you be comfortable to marry a woman that earns more than you? But what you are saying now is, when you're already in the marriage, yes, things can happen, life happens. If it happens, then now she's not the breadwinner. It's a different case, because you guys are already married. That's why the vow said, for richer, for poorer.
Mhm.
Well, the
You know,
content
so
of the title of this is not. I
Mr.
just want
Carl,
to correct the title. I just want to correct the title, and you can go on. The title is actually pride in a relationship. It didn't say marriage. It didn't say girlfriend, boyfriend. It's just pride in a relationship. So let's go
and
forward.
marriage can be just
Pride
relationship.
in a relationship.
At the end of the day, marriage is a relationship. Pride in a
Hmm.
relationship, marriage is a relationship. Anyway, as I was
Hmm.
saying, um, with for me, I won't be comfortable to know fully well that she's earning more. Then I'll say, okay, I'm comfortable to go marry her. No, if we're already in the marriage, life happens. Whatever stuff comes in, now she's now taking care of um, the household. It's a different case scenario. But me being comfortable knowing that I'm going into this marriage and I know she earns more than me. No, I'm not comfortable. I won't be comfortable with it. That's why I said earlier on, I want you guys to understand me. That's why I said,
Mhm.
um, during the relationship, which is the process, that's when you have communication. Oh, she earns more than me, and I can tell she really loves me. Am I going to back out because she earns more than me? No. Let me have a conversation with her. And for me doing
What are you
that,
going to
I
ask her to
show.
do? Take a pay decrease?
No,
No.
hold on. It's the mentality, Mr. Carl. It's just it's
Hmm.
just the only thing. The mentality. Because if you have the mindset, the mentality that yes, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be successful. Most of the things I've acquired. This is the true story. I was still in secondary school. We call it secondary school in Nigeria. I foresee them. I know what I want to be. I know what I want to achieve at a certain age. And it all worked like that for me. So it's the mindset first. We should teach men to have that mindset, that mentality, for you to be the leader. When you have that mindset, you see a woman that earns more than you. When you're having a conversation with that woman, it's going to sink into her. She will understand where you're coming from.
Oh,
This is how
absolutely. I agree
this is how
100.
you
Yes.
understand. But if you are comfortable, what I don't agree and what I won't accept is you being comfortable. That's just
That's
all I've
right.
been saying. Comfortable that she earns more than you. Like I said, I've seen so many. The first time I moved down to the States, there was something that I've never seen before. I went to Walmart. I went to do groceries. So there were these two love bears. They were hugging, kissing each other. They were right in front of me. I was admiring them. When it's time for them to pay bills, the man paid his own, the woman paid her own. I have never seen a thing like that before. That's just the truth. We as men,
Really?
when we come to Africa, we pay everything when we're dating a woman, when we're in a relationship. And if we are sharing stuff, what we do before we leave the house, she either give me the money that we're going to use to pay, then we take care of it. So that was surprising to me. Sometimes I go to a restaurant, they will ask me, how do you want to pay the bill? Are you separated? These are new stuff to me, man. I have never experienced stuff like that. You understand? We pay bills as men, and I'm used to it. I've seen where ladies will be like, let's go out. I'll tell them I don't have one. She'll be like, don't worry, I'll take care of the bill. I will struggle before I go. Eventually, I'll still go because I'll see her energy that, okay, she's not one of those. I might go just to, but I won't do it the second, third time. No. I will have to find how I will do it. If I really like her, love her, then I'll go out with her. Then if I see that's why communication comes in. If I see she's a nice person, yes, we can be going out while she's taking care of it, but I won't be comfortable with it. I'm not going to be comfortable. So that way, I want to think, I want to plan, I want to strategize on how to make myself better so that I can always provide for her instead of the other way around. This is what I'm saying.
Understood. Understood. Now, Miss Isa,
Hey, Carl.
I see you raising your hand there.
Yes, it's a cultural thing. I always bring us back to the center. I mentioned last week that my dad had four wives and provided equally for each and every one of them. He was still the sole provider, but that was his responsibility because that's what he came into the world and that's what his father did. So it's a cultural thing. And in the African community, not all men, there are some men who take pride in taking care of the family, who take pride in being the sole provider. There are men who marry women who are on a different, on a different level, so to speak, than them, because they always want to be the sole provider. But what I think we're missing here, everybody should go into a relationship, should go into a relationship thinking that, knowing that there's a possibility that the woman you're with has a potential to earn more than you at some point.
Okay.
Period. You have to think about you have to go into any relationship thinking that. And if
Okay.
wouldn't you agree?
I
Yes,
agree.
absolutely, I
I,
agree, and that's the whole point. So
I
right
agree.
now, so right now, as we come to a closing of this, okay, we're going to give. I want everyone to give their statements and what they feel about what has been said tonight. We want to thank the audience for participating and how you have done. We are going to let the lady go first. Miss Isa, please give your closing statements at this point and tell us what you have gotten or what you feel. Please let the audience know your concept of this.
Well, let me start by saying, Pascal, it's good to have you back. And I'm still waiting
Thanks.
for my Nigerian name. I was hoping you'll name me tonight. We can use part
Yeah.
of my part of my time to do that, you know. But like I said last week, ladies, make sure before you pick a partner you're on the same wavelength. Make sure you have the same beliefs. And make sure you go over every scenario, life events that may happen during the course of the relationship. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Make sure your partner is strong enough to go through the fall, you know. And make sure whoever you're with has a mission statement for the relationship and for the family. Please. And it's not the end of the world if you marry a man or if you're in a relationship and you know that person falls from glory. As a woman, you should be able to empower your man. You should be able to empower your loved one and challenge them. There's always more. So think about
Hmm.
it. I'll give you 1 minute, Pascal. I've been waiting.
So,
I give
Thank
you
you,
one
Ice.
minute
I
of my time.
appreciate that.
I want to hear my
I,
name.
I appreciate. Actually, you still have 4 minutes to go if you want to speak out more. If you have,
No,
this is your time and this is
I
your stage to say.
yeah, and so I understand where Pascal is coming from. He's from Nigeria, and I go out with my friends, my Nigerian friends, all the time. And when the bill comes, one person just voluntarily takes out their card and pays for it. I've seen that,
Hmm.
you know. And so it's also good once in a while to do nice things for your partner. You should not always be on the receiving end, but you should have an attitude of giving too. So if your
Hmm.
partner, if you're in a relationship with someone and that person picks up the tab every time you go out, there's nothing wrong with making a reservation and taking care of the whole bill. You should do it. And we're in America. You have to think about it. In my culture, we say hand go, hand come, meaning curb me back, make a curb you back. Frances, if you're listening, you know what that is. But there should be a give and take. It should not be one sided. It should never be one sided. Even in a relationship, even in a marriage, it should never be one sided. It doesn't mean you're gonna give me what I give you. You can give me things that money cannot buy, that I cannot give myself. So you got to think about it. If your wife is making more money than you, or your partner is making more money than you, I have seen men who will take that money and invest it and turn it into millions. So
Hmm.
it's not the fact that your wife earns more than you, or now she's the head of the household, or your ego has been bruised. No, it should never be like that. It's what you can do with the money that's coming into the household. She may be earning the money, but you can double it. So there are so many other ways. Let that motivate you. Don't let it make you feel less of a man or less of a woman. It should always motivate you to do more. I'll leave you with that.
Awesome. That is so beautiful, Ice. I appreciate you and your comment. Now, for the great Uncle Pasino, please, sir, take stage.
mhm.
Tell the audience exactly what you feel and what your take is on this conversation today.
Yes. I think at the end of the day, we're all saying the same thing. Like what Auntie Aisa said, we come from different um, traditional background or cultural background. So, like where I come from, saying it, um, I don't think it's okay for a man to be comfortable with it. So go with what Auntie Aisa said. Yes, that I keep talking about the mindset, the mentality. That's why you have to have a conversation during the relationship, which is the process. So during that time, you guys know if you have the same drive, the same goal. If you have the same goal, and if she's a good woman, a submissive one, she will know that, oh, this man can handle these finances if I put it in his care. Guess what? Because you guys have the same drive, yeah, things will go, might go on well, you know.
Hmm.
But what I would
Hmm.
advise young men is you don't have to be comfortable with that. You have to make sure. Yes, also, if you're already in the relationship and things happen, there's nothing you can do about it. You have to own up as a man and learn how to plan with your woman. But my point is, you don't need to be comfortable before you get married when you know she earns more than you. Even if you're going to get married to her, your mentality and your mindset should be upright so that when you're there together, you can invest that money and build a legacy. I believe in legacy. That's what I believe. How to build legacy. That's why I
Absolutely.
said earlier on, I won't be comfortable just paying bills. There's more to bills. The Bible said a good father leaves inheritance for his sons and grandsons. That's what we need, legacy, guys. How to build legacy.
Absolutely.
So upright. Your mentality should be upright. If you don't, go and read, go and listen to podcasts, listen to things that will motivate you, that will make you a better person. And your woman will see that in you. You shouldn't be comfortable with her earning more than you. It's not that you're scared. I am not. We as Nigerians, we're not afraid. We can chest bill. It's what we do. It's how we are raised. We are not afraid, because the last time I heard, I know it was a joke of Uncle Pascal ran away, because no, we don't run. We know what we stand for as Nigerians or Africans. We are providers. That's how. And also, people say equality. I don't believe in equality. That can be another topic. I don't believe in it. There should be a form, like the example I gave. The president, which is the father, vice president is the mother. The kids are the board members. So the father makes the rule, takes advice from the vice president, which is the wife, then call the board members, the kids, and this is the plan. The way go about it, that's how a real man leads. You still have to take advice from your wife, but you
Absolutely.
should have it to be a leader. That's just my point. Strive to make sure you be a leader, to provide. When you are in the relationship, something else comes up, sickness or ill health comes up. Now she's not taking the role. Because of the mentality you've shown her as a leader, she will follow your footstep. But guys, I don't think you should be comfortable with that situation. Just learn how to be a good provider, change your mentality, focus. That's all I have to say now. If I still have more minutes, I might want to give Auntie Isa her name if time permits, or after the whole show.
Please do. No, please do. I've been waiting. I've been waiting, Pascal. So
So,
please do.
Mr.
Drum roll,
Can I
please.
go on?
Brub, 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 brub.
You have 2 more minutes there to go. So whatever you want to
Oh,
say, by
oh,
all
but
means.
if I'm going to wear my African hat, which is this,
Hey, hey.
I'm here for it.
okay?
I'm here for it.
I got three names for you. One is
Okay.
Lola, and in Yoruba name, you can abbreviate it in two ways. Lola, it can be Lola or Ade. Ade means crown. Lolade means God is with you.
Hmm.
The second one is Ifelayo. It can be Ife or Layo, which means
Hmm.
love is peace. Then the third one is Adenike. Adenike means the crown needs to be taken care of. So out of these three men, which one would you want to take?
Can you repeat them again, please, real fast?
I'll start from the bottom. Adenike, the crown
Uh-huh.
needs to be taken care of. The crown needs to be
Okay.
taken care of. Adenike.
Okay.
If Layo, love is peace. Then the third one, Lolade, God is with you.
Lola Day.
God
I
is with
figured you'd
you.
pick that one.
I take my
Yeah.
crown out
That is
now.
a
I
beautiful
have
name.
crowned you that day.
Oh, thank you, Pascal. Thank
Awesome,
you.
awesome.
I
You're so
love
welcome.
it.
So now you have seen it right here live on this broadcast. Her name is Lola De. God is with you by all means. Thank you, Uncle
Oh,
Pasino, for
how
giving her that
sweet.
name.
Thank you, Pascal.
So, in my closing, I would say that this panel, I adore it. I really enjoy, because when iron sharpens iron, there's no way that you can't get yourself through any situation in life. You should be able to slice right through it when you have a good iron sharpening another iron. And on this show, we always have iron sharpening iron. Okay. Uncle Pasino, with his wisdom and his greatness, everything that he has said tonight is just wonderful. And Isa bringing in what she brings into the table as the beautiful lady of the house she has been today. I really appreciate everything that has been said, and I hope that you men and women have learned a lot from what has been said on this show today. In my closing, I would like to say that everything Uncle Pasino has said is absolutely wonderful and truth. And everything that Aunt Isa has said is absolutely wonderful and truth. We are indeed saying the same thing, but we're just bringing it at different angles that happens in these relationships. And if you don't have the one person to bring it up, the person that's listening will go, what if, what if? I'm sure that once the show is over, someone will type and say, how come you didn't say this? It happens all the time. So we all try to bring up the circumstances that happen not only in the African culture or in the American culture, shoot, it may be in Chinese culture. But either way it go, this is what is happening and this is what's going on. And we thank you so much for joining us on this show. I would like to say to you men, if you're living with a woman and she is making more money than you and you have stopped working and you're doing absolutely nothing, still trying to call yourself head of the household, that's sad. That is what Uncle Pascal is trying to say about being comfortable with that. No, you're not a kid. She's not there. She's not your mama. She's supposed to be your wife, the one you are taking care of. If you're making less money, my saying about you still paying the house note, still paying the bill and all that, of course you want to excel. But that is your responsibility, taking care of home. But Uncle Pascal brings up Uncle Pasino brings up a very good point. Learn to excel, go further, because you have to leave things not just for yourself, but for your children. That's Bible. So, in ending, we want to thank you guys for joining us today. We're going to bring the panel back on and wave goodbye to everybody. Thank everybody for joining us. We absolutely love the comments that come down. And in the future, by all means, please pick up your phone and dial in and talk. Thank you, everyone. Until next time, we're signing out.